welcome back to another episode of the Jagged Edge. This is Ian here along with Chris.
I need a nap.
After that peanut butter sandwich?
Oh.
Have bliss.
And before it was a rough week.
Hey, you said it was a long week, couple long nights, and
yeah,
the whole shebang.
Literally my day yesterday was I went to work. Well, actually, I went to training for work. I had a new job, so I had to go to training, and I had to drive over an hour for that. And then in the middle of the day, I had to drive over an hour to actually finish up the day at work. And then I had to drive about 50 minutes to go home, but I didn't actually go home. I went straight to the theater to watch Deadpool 2, which was awesome. And then I came back and did the review with you guys, which will be up today, both of them, non-spoiler and spoiler.
Right on.
Finished. And then I went right back out and worked until about 3:30 in the morning with my other job.
There you go.
Yeah, I need a nap. A little bit of naparoo. Then I had to get up early today because I had to get to the bank. So these banks, I don't know about you, but I'm used to banks closing at noon on Saturdays.
No, you're right. Hey, you always get that early close. Now, you got any rain coming in this weekend?
It's been raining. It is constant. Like, hey, here's some rain.
I'm surprised you're not asleep now. I'd be sunk.
Oh, are you? Does the rain do that to you? You're one of those people where it rains and you're just like, all right, just grab a pillow and a blanket. I'll know when it's done. I'll wake up when it's done raining.
Rain narcolepsy, something like that.
I can understand that. No, it doesn't have that particular effect on me, at least not in any strong way. But yeah. But again, as I stated, Deadpool 2, awesome. Go watch it.
Yeah, for sure. This was a super fun ride, especially if you love the hijinks of the first one. This is going to give that to you with spades. With some fun development here. So
with Cable.
The Cable guy. And some good surprises. One thing we talked about going into that movie was, no matter how it was framed, we couldn't see. We didn't know if Cable was going to be the guy, or the main contender Deadpool was going to have to deal with. But there's some pretty fun surprises in there, so worth seeing, worth checking out.
Super secret bad guy. All I'm going to say.
Boom, boom, boom.
All I'm going to say. But let's talk about more movies and TV shows and geek-like things.
Yeah, we're loaded with them. Right up top, that's MI6. We got the trailer. Is this the last? I think this is the last trailer for that or not? Probably.
This is the official trailer.
There we go.
Yeah. The other ones, I guess, have been teasers. I'm not totally sure what the difference is yet, but there's apparently some difference.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple scenes that are expanded. I know, like the cliff scene. Also, you got a little bit more on the helicopter scenes and some of the early exposition and stuff like that. This is one that's shaping up to be great. I casually got into this series. I think like the first MI I just saw on like DVD or something. And after a couple of them, man, I started following them. I started going to theaters to check these out, and this is going to be no different. Shaping up great, killer cast, including Superman himself, Henry Cavill.
Mustache and all.
With the mustache.
The mustache that sank a franchise.
Caused so many problems.
No. Yes, definitely caused a lot of problems.
And then Angela Bassett, too, which is she's always awesome.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is the sole reason why I give any thought or credibility to Scientology. That man is 55 years old. All right, I've watched his career. I remember I've talked about this. I was a little kid sitting at home eating my peanut butter toast and watching HBO during the day, which I shouldn't have been watching. That should not have been in front of me, because anyone who remembers back in the day, HBO would often, they wouldn't show basically the softcore porn. Any of the adult-oriented shows they would also show during the day. So I'm watching Top Gun. I'm watching Cocktail. And all these movies. What was the one where the big one where like he ends up? I don't know. I don't remember. But the one where he's a businessman and he slides on the floor, half naked.
Man.
Yeah, I've watched them all a billion times. So I've watched this guy's career. I'm not, an overly big Tom Cruise fan, but I mean, he looks older, but good God, he does not look like 55.
No,
I
he
really do
doesn't.
think that aliens are involved with this man's physical being. And not only that, not only does he not look like it, but he's like basically parkouring in these
He is.
movies, and he's been doing that for about 10 years now.
Now he had. I thought I heard out of this one. He got some kind of. Was it a knee injury?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he drinks the souls of babies, so it heals up real quick. It's crazy.
Oh,
I think that was actually the Mummy movie where he got injured.
Maybe even on both. I know there was. In fact, that was right at the top of this year. They were talking about that on CNN, if I remember right. That he got it was in London. It was like an onset injury. I don't know
Right.
exactly what it was, but still, yeah. Point is, hey, point taken. The guy is spry as I don't know what. And to rock what he does, yeah, at 55,
Is it
man.
because he's short? He's 4 feet tall.
Well,
Is it?
well, that center of gravity means something, man. So could
Yeah,
be.
it's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. I want in on what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because I mean I'm getting older at this point, so it's like I look at this stuff. I look older than he does, and I'm way younger than he is. So
I say you got to get off that track. You don't want to be heading towards old man Logan territory.
I'll make a deal with aliens.
I can see it.
I'll make a deal with them. It's funny that you say that. I think he was actually up for the role of Wolverine years and years and years ago.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there was for one of the X-Men movies. He was up for Wolverine early on. Obviously turned it down. Bet you he wishes he hadn't done that. 'Cause,
Man.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, he has a career and he's done some movies, but I think he's like the biggest producer for these Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of self-made. Hey, that's fine. You're making money, you're making a profit, but he's turning out his own career, which there's nothing wrong with that. But there's something to be said for the fact that not a lot of people are hiring him.
Right. Right.
So, whatever. They don't. Maybe they're scared of him. I'm kind of scared of him.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the same room with him.
Could be. Now, I'm wondering how hard he is to work with. Because
I don't know. He's weird though. That's
Yeah.
you hear that all the time.
You do.
That he's very odd to talk to. He's very quiet and very keeps to himself. Things have to be a certain way.
Yep.
He has to be in his cryogenic chamber for 12 hours a day.
Cryogenic chamber.
At some point here, we'll actually talk about the merits of this trailer, but not yet. No, good on him for taking the skepticism of alien religions out of the whole thing. No, the dude's obviously kicking some serious ass. The Mission Impossible movies, people like them. This is like fun. This is actually the first one in a long time. When we first talked about the schedule for this year and saw that, I was like, no, I have no interest. This actually, I was like, hey, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it looks like fun.
No, shaping up good. I'm interested to see Cavill's character, if he is going to be playing more of the. Actually, trying to see where he's going to end up, because I thought he was.
Well, he's the villain, isn't he?
I see. That's what I was trying to figure out. Is he the main villain, or is he some sort of double agent that goes rogue? I don't know, but I'm interested in his role. I like the way he's been seated in the trailers where we've seen him, pop up so far. It's going to be cool. So, no, but definitely we got this one slated, and I think, right now, Isaac, me and Isaac, but I think it's going to be 3 of us.
It might be. I don't know. You bailed on The Purge with me. You were all, 2 weeks ago. You were all about The Purge.
You're right. I was leaning towards it. And then I'm like, I fell off the boat, man. I fell off that ship.
Kill you for that.
Don't purge me though.
It might. You watch Rick and Morty, right? I mean, this is a few years ago, but you watch Rick and Morty, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you saw the Purge episode?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Good.
It was amazing, man. That was when it was on that weird planet, right?
Yeah, I think
They're
they were like cat
yeah,
like or something like that.
yeah.
Doesn't matter because they all get killed anyways.
That was awesome. But
Yeah, why woun't you want to go see that in the theater? Not that it's actually that, although a whole movie of Rick and Morty doing the Purge would be great.
see that's what I'm leaning more towards.
We're not even sure if we'll get another season with them.
No, no, it's been good. Been real good.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm going to segue. Speaking of shows and getting renewed for next seasons,
Agents of
uh,
Shield.
Agents of Shield got renewed for season 6.
Right on. And all right, so this is one we were itching about, especially all with everything that's happened in Infinity War and all the rumors and everything, and for how this Agents of Shield has been known to both mention and link at times, even sporadically, into the films. What are they going to do with the big stuff that's happened?
Right.
So
They didn't do anything.
nothing, nothing at all.
I had heard rumors going back almost half a year that this was going to have effects, that Infinity War was going to have direct effects with Agents of Shield this year. Nothing. Now I'm not going to spoil anything else. I'm not going to, because I watched the season final. It is good, especially if you're a fan. It is good. It was set up as both. It could be a series final. It could be a season final. It is a season final. They were renewed for season 6, which we won't get in the typical fall lineup. It'll happen sometime next year.
Right.
Not 22 episodes, 13, which is a drastic change for network television, but it's something that people have been calling for a long time. 13 is the typical episodes or typical season and number of episodes for the Netflix shows.
Right. Right.
So it's getting trimmed down. They're trimming a lot of the fat. That a lot of people haven't liked. Because of it, though, I honestly, it's been an issue for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because when it first started out, it was very much Monster of the Week. And a lot of people didn't like that. They wanted to... There was an overarching story for the whole season, but a lot of it was very Monster of the Week kind of stuff, and
Right.
it was annoying people. So they've been dealing with stuff like that. How do we want to do this season? So basically, the platform for the last couple of years is we'll do 2 major stories, and things will be intertwined with that. So we're probably just going to get 1 major story. The rumor now, because all rumors about season 5 getting involved with Infinity War, which it did not. I even heard that this last week, was that, hey, they got renewed, and because they're getting renewed, the season final is going to involve Infinity War, which it didn't. So now the rumor is, hey, they're only doing half a season. They're going to push it out during the spring, leading up into and around Avengers 4.
Bum 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 bum.
Yeah, they need to do something.
Yeah, no, they do.
Put this to bed.
This is look. This is a rare chance. If there's any show that's got enough steam left to still do this, it's here. But they're running out of opportunities to capitalize on it, man.
This is the only show where they've actually had the movies and the TV intertwined.
Yes. So as much leeway as there's been given, and as we give and others do, you only get so many shots at this.
Right.
You got Avengers 4 coming, and then that's it, man. Train's going off the rails.
And I'm pretty sure if we don't, if they don't start intertwining these different medias for this Marvel Cinematic Universe like they were,
yeah.
If they don't start doing that again and getting a hold of this stuff, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done.
I can't blame you.
This is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We can only deal with bait and tease so many times, and
Right.
it happens in the other shows a lot. I mean, I've talked about how this has been going on in Legion regularly. Still getting the feeling I'm going to be salty at the end of the season about a few things. That's another story. We've gotten this in, of course, some of the Netflix series that we've had.
It's some of that makes sense, and they shouldn't always intertwine. Like
Right.
Jessica Jones being on her own makes
That's
a
fine.
lot of sense. Even that being said, they brought them all together for the Defenders. Luke Cage, as powerful as he is and the kind of things that he can do, there's no reason why he's not all up in everybody's fucking business.
Right.
There's just no reason for it.
Yeah.
Someone as rich and powerful as Iron Fist.
Yep.
Daredevil, just Well, there's reasons why Daredevil's not being seen by anybody right now.
Right.
Which brings up the question. We're gonna get Luke Cage season 2 in June.
Right.
Daredevil sometime in the next year, so before Avengers 4. Are we gonna see any of these? Are we gonna see any show or any movie actually show the effects of what happened in Infinity War? We're gonna have
Yeah.
between now and then we're gonna have two new movies. We know Captain Marvel's not. That's
Right.
a prequel. Ant-Man and the Wasp could, but that looks like it's going to take place beforehand as well.
Yeah.
But there's Cloak and Dagger. There's now Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 6. There's Luke Cage. There's Daredevil season 3. Are any of these things going to show what this world is like after what Thanos did?
Yeah. Yeah. I would hope. I mean, now that you mention it, about Cloak and Dagger, I would love, man, if that was part of the opening. Holy crap!
That's not going to though.
It's not gonna. I know
that got shot a long time ago.
Fantasy, but
that got shot a long time ago though. And in fact, but that being said, the MCU. See, this is the problem. You got to fix your eternal bullshit. Because I mean they've had this stuff plotted out for years. They could be doing this. I'm frustrated with it. I know. I shouldn't be at this point. I should just accept the fact that this probably isn't going to happen. It's very frustrating though because I want them to go to bigger and better things. I want to see that one that we always talk about, Spider-Man and the Punisher and Kingpin. That should be a thing.
Yeah, it should. It really should.
Daredevil in there too. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of precedent for that in comics. I mean, Spidey and Daredevil crossovers, man, and the Kingpin has been a mutual enemy for both of them. So
now that being said, because I'm not going to get, because I just went into this a couple weeks ago. I just went on a huge rant about this a couple weeks ago, so I'm done with it. That just reminded me of something else I'd like to bring up. So let me know when you're done with this topic, and then that way I'll bring up something that is not me bitching.
Okay, deal. I really just had a comment about Spidey and Daredevil's mutual enemies, but in terms of other crossovers too, in New York, Spidey is throughout over history gotten to know all of NY's finest, from Fantastic Four to you name it. When Jennifer Walters came over to do her practice,
he was part of the Fantastic Four for a while.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
for a bit. Yeah. So seeing that was always one of the draws of Spider-Man for me too. Why I always loved him as a character, but also just how much mileage he got and how many different crossovers he'd run into. That was always so cool. Right. So, oh well.
Yeah, fix it. Okay, so speaking of which, let's talk about my regular edition of. I probably should have titled this. This should have been.
You should have.
my regular edition of the Punisher War Machine. Got a new issue came out this week.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. So I saw a preview a little while back showing that he's going to get into a fight with Iron Man. And I think that's going to be the next issue or the issue after. But what happened this week is now the Punisher's come back from whatever country he was in. It's some made-up country where he took down the whole dictatorship in the War Machine armor. Fury asked him to take the suit and go and take care of this guy, although the Punisher did it in his own way, not quite the way that Fury wanted him to. So here's the thing. We're still in the aftermath of what happened with Hydra taking over the country.
Right.
We're in the aftermath of the fact that the Punisher sided with Hydra.
Yeah.
Because of Captain America. And he really doesn't have ties with a lot of characters in the Marvel Universe, but he idolizes Captain America. So So he followed him, and he was an agent of Hydra. Okay, so now he's back in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And he immediately starts to take out like D-level villains that you've seen in various. I mean, they're super villains. They are super villains, but he's just slaughtering them, which is just great. But this grabs attention, and it grabs the attention of Captain Marvel.
Oh snap!
Right, who is not happy with him to begin with because I don't know if there was any. It was insinuated there was some relationship with Captain Marvel and Rhodes,
right,
with
right.
War Machine. But they were teammates, I think, in Alpha Flight
Right.
when that happened, and she's in large part responsible for War Machine dying.
Mm.
So the Punisher running around with his suit is a big no-no for her. And this fight ensues between them, and quite honestly, Punisher gets his ass kicked. He's not going to be able to
I mean, of course.
right. But it happens up in the air, and it grabs the attention of about a dozen other superheroes.
Oh.
Right. So like Spider-Man and geez, I don't have it in front of me, but a bunch of others. And so Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Are you seeing a trend here?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Manhattan superheroes are seeing, oh, what's going on here? And so the issue actually becomes, it turns into the Punisher hiding from them.
Oh, wow.
The Hawkeye gets in on it. So they're all pissed. One, because it's Punisher, and it's kind of funny because I was thinking about this. The Punisher is just something that the superheroes in the Marvel universe, and I want to say that not saying the MCU, because the Punisher in the MCU likes to plant gardens and fix the broken blade on your lawnmower. So, no, but the Punisher in the Marvel universe is kind of just it's like the superheroes. They kind of deal with them. Nobody likes the fact that he kills people, and if they ever come across him, more times than not, they try to stop him. But he always gets away, and so then they just kind of Punisher's just out killing criminals, which is kind of funny because so many of them are hey, you can't kill anybody. But they've had it, especially with this whole agents of not agents, but this whole Hydra thing, and him being an agent of Hydra,
right?
And the fact that he's running around in the War Machine armor. This is all some pretty unacceptable stuff. So, it's just hilarious. Like everybody's after the Punisher, but at the same time, it's the Punisher. And when it comes to him and superheroes, he's a little more lenient because generally speaking, they're trying to do good things,
right? But
they're always up in his face. So at one point, like Daredevil, it's just him and Daredevil at one moment, and Daredevil's like, "I got to take you in." And he's just like, are you kidding me? Looking at him he's in the War Machine armor. He's like, you're joking, right? And it's just the interaction's great. This has been a great line. I mean, I don't know what happens from this because I was thinking about this like, gosh, this is like a Reese's peanut butter cup. Is what this is. This is chocolate and peanut butter mixed together, and it's so good. It's so good. But the thing about a Reese's peanut butter cup is that you eat it and then it's gone.
Right.
They can't do this forever.
No.
And I don't know how it ends, but this has been great. It's been a great run.
Cool.
And I know it's gonna, Iron Man's gonna get involved, that's just gonna be the best.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Stark can just shut off the suit.
Of course he could. It's his tech.
So he's been busy doing his own thing, which has been a fairly interesting ride as well. So I give it some leeway for that. It's like, well, why didn't Iron Man just use it? Well, because Iron Man was actually kind of dead there for a while. So.
Right.
But no, this has been great.
Wicked.
I strongly recommend that you pick it up, sir.
I bet I love it.
The whole Punisher War Machine line. I mean, and a lot of it, a lot of it really didn't have anything to do with any other heroes or anything. It was just the Punisher in the frickin' War Machine suit, which is just awesome by itself. But now he's interacting with the superheroes, and they're chasing after him and stuff. And when he gets back to Manhattan, he's just slaughtering all these low-level supervillains that are like, they're trying to be criminals and trying to be part of a mafia. And he just shoves a Gatling gun up their ass, and
that's his style.
So great. It just every time I'm like, gosh, why? Oh, they need to do
what?
This needs to be a TV show.
As soon as you told me that idea, I was, or just like that concept, like that sounds amazing. Just
my jaw hit the floor when I saw it. When I first saw it, like forever ago, I'm like, what? That's something that like, I don't know, the writers, they must have like been collectively around a table getting drunk or getting high or something. It's like, I don't know. They accidentally came across this mixture. It's just perfect. It's so good. I don't know how it ends, but they better end it right.
Oh man, sweet. No, yeah, keep posted. If if I find a way to get a hold of this or just read through, I'll tell you if I catch up. I know Marvel have been big on a lot of like online comics too. Now, hey, before I go further, I got to say I am still very much put my comic in my hands, sir. That's
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
yeah, that's I'd prefer to read them, but I always have trouble trying to get stuff in a in a batch collection or like it was like the last time last DC thing I wanted to keep up with Infinite Crisis. I went and tried to get that whole thing, and then I was like had some bald spots like, oh, I'm missing an issue there, oh, you're missing an issue here, oh, that pissed me off. So I was enjoying that read, but oh well, what you gonna
Well,
do?
who would enjoy this read?
I no I know I would, what you've been saying. So
It's right up your alley. It's all the action you'd want, and then they censor the swearing.
how nice, how PC,
Yeah, I know.
how PC.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's my regular installment of Punisher War Machine is awesome.
Sweet.
Okay,
All
because
right.
one of us has to actually talk about comic books.
Yeah, and one of us does. I'm sitting here the old man of that. Like last time I really got into a series and stayed with it was Ultimate Spider-Man. But
Looking forward, they're bringing Darkhawk back. They gave him a one shot about half a year ago. They're bringing him back for a 4-part series.
all right,
That's my guy right there.
sweet, good stuff. Hey, real quick, who from the team, if you know off the top of your head, was writing this at the Punisher storyline? Is it from?
Oh no, I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if it was someone that might jump out, but all right. Well, speaking of Marvel,
Or
uh,
Marvel.
more. We got Marvel Studios brings on some more writers for the Eternals movie. This was from the Hollywood Reporter a little earlier this week. It turns out in the report that Marvel has brought on board a couple more writers slash cousins of Matthew and Ryan Firpo. Firpo?
Well,
Got that
they
right?
are cousins.
They are cousins. My bad.
Yeah.
Matthew and Ryan Firpo to begin development on a movie based on the Eternals in the Marvel Universe. Now, Eternals is sort of a bit of an unknown. Now, I can say, yeah, definitely. That this stumps me, too. They were created by Jack Kirby in the 70s. This was during his second run with Marvel. Now, he was coming back from DC after creating the Old Gods and other publications. But the story itself for Eternals takes place in the past, far, far, far past from Marvel. And this even goes as far back as the Celestials and their origin. This is a result of genetic experiments on humans, creating beings with godlike powers, making them almost immortal. Marvel lore, the Eternals are tied to the origins of the mutants as well as Kree, Skrull, and humans and other alien races. All that good stuff.
Right.
So
remember a couple months back when I told you there was a reason why aliens look the way that they do, and
right.
like I think we were talking about Thanos' face and why he got the ball section and all that stuff, and how that's similar. That's similar to some other alien races. I mean, this is where this all comes from. Jack Kirby got in. I mean, I don't know all the details, but he got on a kick of, I'm going to make all these like super godlike space alien things. A lot of this origins for both the main two came from him. Now, ironically, he didn't want the Eternals to be part of the Marvel Universe. They were intertwined anyways. But he created all this stuff, and like it really, you can, everything basically comes from the Celestials and the Eternals in large part, almost everything. We're gonna get this as a movie. This is going to become part of the MCU. They're doing a movie on this. I'm a little surprised and I'm a little apprehensive about it. I don't know if it'll work. I mean, I give them all the credit in the world because I've probably thought about that half a dozen times in the last 10 years. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not all that interested in seeing something like this right now. I don't.
Yeah, I want to say that if you're starting to go the direction of what I like to call Marvel Cosmic, as we start
I mean, this is it. This is Marvel Cosmic.
This is. And my first thought when we're starting to talk about Captain Marvel and everything in that direction, expanding out, and then you've got Adam Warlock and characters like that. This, as difficult as it might seem in your mind's eye for something like this to happen, I think this is almost unavoidable to go into this kind of territory. Like, one thing Marvel have done masterfully is build the foundations of all their work. And so by the time you get to huge movies like Avengers 4, you have so much to stand on. There's so much lore, there's so much history, there's so much about these characters and all their surrounding worlds coming together. So now, I think instead of more of just the towns or cities or even worlds you got these heroes inhabiting, you're really seeing the glue that pulls everything together. And I think
Well, literally, I mean,
literally,
excuse me.
yeah,
These stories of the Eternals explain why people still believe in Jesus in the Marvel world.
right,
But at the same time, there's Thor and the Asgardians. But at the same time, there's aliens,
right,
and why these things can all coexist and make sense in this world.
right.
I mean,
Oh,
that's a lot of what this is all about.
yeah. And if done, which I think Marvel, they've proven it. They've got the talent to handle it. If done well, and it's still something really engaging, this is going to be some of the deepest live action lore that you could hope to have, as far as for superhero movies and comic
Right.
movies, and blow this stuff up in a way that you just wouldn't have thought years back we could do.
So
Wow.
it'll be interesting to see. We've seen some hints of this, like the town, the space city, nowhere. That's in a Celestial's head. That's in the head of Celestial. So we've seen some things of these, and Celestials created the Eternals. Thanos in the comics is, I don't know if he's considered an Eternal. He is the direct descendant from an Eternal. His father was an Eternal.
Wow.
I think that makes him one. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, honestly.
Right.
So, and will that carry over into the MCU? It might. But they're going this route, and I think in doing so, the broader brush is, look, we need to somehow explain mutants,
Yeah.
and I think this will help do that.
Right.
And why there's Inhumans and why there's mutants, and why one's mutants are mutants, but Inhumans are not.
Right.
And how this all comes together, and and again, in broader brushes, this is going to tie everything. I mean, even going into Agents of Shield season 5 this last season, and all the Kree that we saw and where they come from. And we're going to start seeing Skrulls, which is going to be awesome. This is all going to tie together. That being said, this is, I mean, it's fun, but I never picked up any of these comics for a reason.
Right.
There's an unrelatability to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost the opposite of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man talking about cosmic space
Yeah.
thousands of years ago and how they're nearly immortal. And I mean, there's something about it's like, that's neat, but okay, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yes. Like, where's my War Machine armor?
Right.
Let me back to that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's my War Machine armor? Fighting up above Manhattan.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
it's such a tightrope Marvel has to walk with with grand, huge, sweeping origins and storyline like that, not getting caught up in that stuff, and then still keeping grounded enough. Part of the coolest thing about Marvel is the relatability of all of it and like the scale. When you see some huge disaster in Manhattan, that's something you can instantly localize in your mind.
Well, this transcends the MCU. I mean, this is
It
actually
does.
one of the bigger differences between Marvel and DC.
Yes.
Marvel has always been, and I take the term for what I mean, and don't run away with it. Marvel has generally been more grounded than DC. But they're going way off the reservation with this one. I mean, people were concerned and unsure about Guardians of the Galaxy. What makes that so great is that it is so crazy and it's in space, but these characters are very relatable.
Yeah, they are.
Even though one's a tree,
Right.
and the other one's a raccoon, they've been very relatable. So, but I think you're gonna, you're leaving a bit of that. And again, I've never actually sat down and read a single internal comics. Most of what I know, in fact, all of what I know, comes from happenstance or studying things on wikis and such. So,
Right. Man.
but they're doing it. They're doing it. This is not, if you follow the Hollywood Reporter here, this is not a maybe. They're doing this. We're getting this.
Going grand.
Right.
Wow. And if there's anybody who can swing for the fences and do it, Go for it. Just don't. Let's not have an Infinite Crisis. That won't happen at Marvel though.
Yeah, I'm even gonna call you out on your bad crossover.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know because I think maybe the way for DC to go, um, because I mean
Oh.
their characters are they deal a lot more with immortal powers.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that that's not the best way for DC to go. They not right now. They need to
Right.
firmly implant themselves. And at least say, "Hey, we're still doing this over here with the superhero franchise."
Yeah.
Because right now, people are starting to wonder, is this still a thing?
Yes. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Aquaman still not out for another half a year.
Man. All the pushbacks and everything. Oh, well.
Or you can go watch Bumblebee.
No. I will sit back and wait for Wonder Woman 2.
You don't want to watch John Cena with Bumblebee?
Dude, please. Yeah, I think that's pretty sure that's the only thing that'll drive me away faster than Last Night did.
You can't see me. John Cena and Bumblebee.
No, thank you, but thanks.
Yeah. No, watch Aquaman.
Oh man,
My man.
my man, yeah.
There you go. Stab into a Slim Jim.
See, that's all we needed. That really would have topped it off for that movie. I mean, oh well.
Jeez, if this was 30 years ago, if you were going to make a DCEU movie with Aquaman, you'd have to get Randy Macho Man Savage. That would,
yeah,
if that's the route you were going to go in. If there was one pick, Randy Savage. Get the Macho Man.
Oh man, what about the $1 Million Man?
What?
The $1 Million Man? Would that have worked?
No.
Okay, all right. I'm just
get
asking.
Macho Man.
Just asking. Had to ask. Oh well.
Cream of the crop.
Well, right on the lines with Marvel, Kevin Feige says
more Marvel news.
More Marvel. Feige says he has plans for Miss Marvel. This is in a recent interview with BBC. MCU Lord and Savior.
Oh, you actually said it this time.
I did. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw little things in there, fun little titles in the notes for you to say.
I like this one. That deserves some echo or something.
He is the Lord and Savior.
Oh yeah, man. This guy's done? Heck yeah. He said this is quote, Captain Marvel's shooting right now with Brie Larson. Miss Marvel, which is another character in the comic books, the Muslim hero who is inspired by Captain Marvel, is definitely sort of in the works. We have plans for that once we've introduced Captain Marvel to the world.
You see, definitely sort of is the kind of term if you're not Kevin Feige, that gets you fired from your job. It does. I'm definitely sort of doing that.
That is right out of Star-Lord's playbook.
This is definitely kind of
kind of a thing.
I don't know much about Miss Marvel. I mean, she was lumped in with a lot of these, I hate to use the term, but a lot of the social justice warrior superhero run that Marvel tried kicking off a few years ago that's basically been deflated. She's definitely stood out, though.
Right.
Unlike a lot of those characters with their... because some of them are really good. Like, I was a fan of Ironheart. But even Miles gets thrown into that. Miles Morales, which he shouldn't. He's been around for years.
Right.
He's definitely got his own solid origin. Miss Marvel tends to take a step out of that lumped up group. I know she's pretty popular, but she's not. I'm not. I'm not really a fan. But I know they're intertwined. Sure, why not? In fact, not only sure why not, I'm looking forward to them taking a property from Marvel that's unknown to me in large part and churning out something really cool.
No, for sure.
I mean, for many people, this has probably got to be very similar to Ant-Man.
Definitely. You took words right out of my mouth. That was just what I was about to comment. If Marvel can take properties like Ant-Man and others and make those awesome parts of what we built, shoot. Yeah, I am more than in the camp that they could definitely do this with what we've got on the table here. So And in a way that's engaging without making things feel like forced
Mhm.
or like really PC, or well, we're just doing this to like sort of appease a certain crowd or give a certain image. That cheapens everything, as opposed to just telling a good story, having characters the crowd can get behind, or find some kind of relatability in, or a story you could find relatability in, even if it's not the cutting edge hero. I resolved to say characters like Killmonger even are interesting enough to carry on a plot by themselves, without having too much surrounding cast to support that. So no, man, shoot, sky's the limit here. This is definitely a run that you can keep going. It's in good hands, and I hope Kevin definitely sort of does this well.
From I'm taking from what you just said, you don't really know much about Miss Marvel either.
Nope.
All right. She's got like long elastic hands and arms and stuff. I think she can do that to her whole body, just like Mr. Fantastic. That's about all I caught on.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen images.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all I've grasped onto with it. I think her powers are cosmic in some way. I really have no idea.
No, yeah.
Um,
Whenever you mention like Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, you go into this direction. We're starting to talk a different like scale of power, and that
yeah.
instantly takes me to the space cosmic level stuff. Now
She's not the current Miss Marvel is not the first Miss Marvel either. I
right.
know that.
There was something I do remember, and this was one of my first run-ins with Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, etc. There was a crossover back in X-Men years and years ago where I think Rogue got a hold of some of that power.
You're joking, right?
No,
Dude, that's why Rogue has like almost her entire power set is because she
see, I
got
knew
a
they
hold
were
of
close. Like,
Captain Marvel.
give me a break. I don't remember every single thing. Back off.
I think they even did the cartoon. They did this in the cartoon. I think at some
I'm
point.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah,
but,
no,
like,
that's where she got her power set. Was she got a hold of Captain Marvel at one point, and
right.
I think it's even a little bit more dramatic than that, just because it is like such an influx of massive power. But yeah, that's where she's able. That's where she
There we
got her
go.
super strength and her ability to fly, and I'm sure some other stuff. Because I know Captain Marvel also has the ability to absorb and manipulate power
Right.
and energy and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, so I'm sorry, absolutely. I figured that the X-Men fan that you are, that would have been you'd said it as though you were not sure.
Right. There are things that even slip, even my cosmic memory. Alas. See, but I knew they were close, as he'd say, close enough. there was a reason why I associated those two. I just, yeah,
You're right.
that left
No,
me.
it was a big thing. And I'm not, I'm not a follower of either. I'm just, pick up what I can from Marvel. I'm
All
not
right.
even, generally speaking, I'm not even a big fan of Rogue because she's got that ridiculous power set.
Yeah,
It's
Rogue's
like,
OP.
it's kind of like Wolverine. The only thing I don't like about Wolverine is because his mutant ability is regeneration, which often has nothing to do with what he's so symbolic of.
Right. Right.
Rogue's very similar. Her mutant ability to steal people's power and energy, which really has nothing to do with most of her super abilities,
Right. Right.
at least directly. You get my meaning.
No, I feel you.
I got a lot of get my meaning kind of thing going this week.
That's why I'm here.
Take it as I mean it.
I not with a grain of salt.
That's right. No, you should definitely listen to me.
No, I should. Sparingly. Good stuff. Lastly, up on shows, Gotham got renewed for a fifth and a final season. There's the TV line announcement that Fox renewed Gotham up. There is another. What is planned for this? Another time slot? Is that what you're looking for?
Okay, are you...
Yeah, I'm actually looking at another time slots planned for the show.
Time jump.
Time jump.
That's my bad.
You time jobber. Another time jump's planned for the show to put a proper end to the story, especially to the Bruce Wayne slash Batman prequel. And this should give it hopefully a wrap up ending, giving it a nice big bow tie leading into Batman.
So everybody heard about Gotham 4 or 5 years ago, this TV show that was going to come out, and it's like, oh, this is before Batman was Batman. How old is he? He's like 5 when the show first starts. And so there's been a couple time jumps. Now we're to the point where everybody wanted to see. Now we're to, okay, he's in season 4. I think he's even in his late teens. He's not 18. He's not an adult yet, but he's a teenager. And so we're gonna have another time. Now we're getting to the point where now it's interesting, at least for me. Now that being said, have you watched an episode of Gotham?
Nope.
I've seen a couple. My mom's a fan, so when I'll be hanging out with my mom, and I'll catch some of it. It's fine. It's crazy. I will say probably one of the best things that I've seen out of the show was that for the first time ever, we got a Joker origin.
Whoa!
And it was good.
Nice.
It was a good one too. It was I thought that was a really interesting twist, and a respectable Joker origin too. So over the years, they've put in most of the villains at this point. They're all there. They're coming into their own as far as what they're doing. I think the show started with the Penguin, and they've introduced most of them now. So this last season is supposed to be, I think you don't quite get Batman. You remember Smallville?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, I do.
And how up until and at the very end of Smallville, you actually got Superman, but they didn't actually say it, but he's actually in the suit and stuff. And
right,
in the last episode, it's kind of like that. They're kind of doing this similar, from what I can tell. And if I got this wrong, somebody please correct me. It's kind of to that point now. This last season is going to be that point where he's right there. He's like literally one step away from being this Batman. He's been training in season 4. He's been starting to put together some kind of suit, and he's coming up with these ideas and what he's going to do. So this might be the one to watch.
Cool. Yeah, I know. Smallville. I had a couple friends of mine,
9 years Smallville ran.
I had a long run, man.
Yeah.
During my college
you're not
days.
even in Smallville anymore. You've been living in Metropolis for 5 years. You're married. You're at the Daily Planet.
Oh man, there was yeah, I know a lot of people that followed that, and in fact, that even went so far. I think it's to one episode near the end of it. They even brought in Doomsday.
I don't know about that. I didn't watch much of Smallville. I mean, I caught it. I mean, we're talking, dude. I think we're pushing late '90s, early 2000s with Smallville.
We are.
I caught some of it. I caught the final episode, which was interesting, and I think it was 2 hours, which it didn't need to be, but it was interesting enough.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know about all of that, but yeah, I mean, at the end of it, there was crazy. He had been out of Smallville for a very long time, and
Right. He ain't in Kansas anymore.
Lois Lane is all over the place now. It's just like, wow, wow. This is the definition of stringing it out.
Crazy. All right.
So are you going to watch any Gotham?
No, man, there's enough stuff to watch. I don't know. I'm good. I'm not, besides like Nolan's Dark Knight, stuff like that for bats, I've never been necessarily over the hill for the Gotham mythos and the all the extra Bruce Wayne backstories. I'm good. I had my dose. Good.
Right. Hey, I don't watch it either, so yeah. I'm kind of with you. It just didn't really attract me.
Fair enough. I get you. All right. You heard the shows. You heard about the movies. It's on to gaming. And right up at the top, this is something you've probably been seeing creeping around if you've been watching almost any major gaming outlet this week. But we got some big news on Kingdom Hearts 3, a.k.a. my box of candy.
Your box of candy,
yeah.
a.k.a. how I get 5 boxes of bunch of crunch from Ian.
Now it's 5.
Yeah, no, it's been 5. It's 5 boxes.
You're sneaking numbers in on me here.
No, it's 5. It's 5 boxes of bunch of crunch. They're $1 a piece. Come on. Come on.
Oh man.
So it'll only cost you $5 plus postage.
From our initial
Or
two,
if you want, you can just send me $5 in the mail, and I'll go buy 5 boxes of Bunch of Crunch.
from our initial two that we had, it might be fun to play along with this, and then I'll just double up on you last minute when we go 18. Then
You know what? In fact, I'm going to have to take that back. That will not be as much fun. I actually want you to go and buy 5 boxes of Bunch of Crunch and mail that to me, not a $5 bill. I want to hear the rattling of the Bunch of Crunch all in a little box.
Right. Before I talk about KH3, actually, it's something this does center around the game itself, but it's also at the heart of our bet too. Okay. Now, if you've been listening, you know Chris and I have an ongoing bet here for boxes of Bunch of Crunch. That is, if Kingdom Hearts 3 is A, released this year, must come out in 2018, and B, it can't just be a release. This has to be not a buggy release, bug-ridden or anything. This has to be a clean release. So those are the ground rules about that. I'm in the camp saying that this game is going to be out this year. I firmly believe that. Chris says...
And it'll be a smooth-running machine.
And that'll be a smooth-running machine. Chris says the opposite. Neither will happen. Now...
Yeah, it'll either come out a hodgepodge mess of a game, or it won't come out this year at all.
Now, I understand the skepticism on it won't happen this year at all. Hey, with Square's long development cycles, I get that. There's plenty of ground for that. The one I want to know about, what's your precedent for thinking that there's a possibility of this being a hodgepodge rush release?
Why do I think that?
Yeah.
You see, they've been doing that with some of their big AAA titles. They've been doing that to some of them. Some of the Final Fantasy games, it came out a huge mess in the last 8 years or so.
I'd be surprised. Here's the thing they haven't, though. What they haven't come out as has been like super badly glitched or unplayable or really buggy. Let's start tracking back recently, okay?
Well, okay. So let me expand on that a little bit. So. Yeah. Here's part of why that's a condition, because in an attempt, because Square Enix hasn't come out with a big game in a while.
Yep.
In an attempt to make sure they get something out for the fourth quarter of this year, they'll release Kingdom Hearts, but it won't be really finished.
And
they won't want to miss that Christmas money.
Yeah, but there's grounds beforehand. You say that there's been previous FFs that have come out in recent history that have been bugged rush releases, and I can't find those.
What? You play it regularly.
That was not a bug rush release.
What, 14?
No, the one I currently play, no, that was not a bug rush release.
It was my understanding that game was... Yeah, that thing was put on a freaking... the booster was strapped to it and kicked out the door.
Now, you want to jump all the way back to the original 14.
Well,
these are different, dude. 14 Realm Reborn and 14 1.0 are like different worlds.
Well, I am talking about the original release of Final Fantasy 14.
Fair enough. Which was not in recent
Which would have been 5 boxes of Bunch of Crunch for Chris.
Yes, it would have been. We were actually talking about that back then. Which we weren't.
No.
In fact, while you're mentioning that, I'm actually wondering when was 1.0 first released. Give me a second on that, because I'm actually curious.
It's been out several years, I think, at this point.
Well, it's dead, for one thing. I can tell you that. I mean, and it was a darn attractive game from the start. Okay, so FF14 relaunched in 2013. Okay, that's where this is when we collectively say 14 now, that's where we are. But I'm trying to jump back to the original here, and I really, really want the release of that because that'll kind of base some stuff. Man, it's crazy that they've just written this out so much, because really when you look back and you find releases, everybody refers to 2.0.
It's kind of funny because when you talk about Kingdom Hearts, this is Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear people talking about that. They were talking about that before Final Fantasy 14 was released.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. Dude, Kingdom Hearts, oh my gosh. How long people have waited for this game to be released, I don't even.
Boggles the mind.
No.
Not just how long they've been waiting, but the fact that they would wait at all.
Yeah. You say that. Okay, you never played a KH game, right?
Poking at all the haters.
Yeah. Have you played a KH?
No.
But this just doesn't appeal to you, period.
I don't need to put a turd in my mouth to know I'm not going to like it.
It's kind of like This argument reminds me of when Pokemon was first coming out.
Dude, I don't need Daffy Duck in my role-playing game.
You hate the idea, but you haven't looked at the core gameplay of it.
I looked at Kingdom Hearts years ago when the first one came out.
It plays. I mean, that's one thing I can't knock about it. You know?
I would sooner have an RPG with the Flintstones cast in it than Disney characters.
All right, but hey, back on track. Let's go way back here. The source of things. All right, look.
Okay.
FF4.
I don't know what you're trying to prove here. But...
FF14 1.0, the guy that crashed and blew up, was a 2010 release.
Okay.
Following back on the heels of FF11, which was a very long-running MMO. I had some friends trying to get me into that. All right. And the clunkiness of that, where they tried to go graphically overboard and everything, and it was not a smooth experience. The elements you had there, quote unquote, worked, but just didn't. It was way more of a hodgepodge mishmash. All right. I look at the titling of what they released. All right, you've had the mainline releases, FF13. That had an insane development cycle, but it was not buggy when it was released, and it was not a hodgepodge mess. FF13-2 as well as FF13-3. All of those were complete games. FF15 was a complete game as well.
I've actually heard debates to the contrary on the very initial release of Final Fantasy 15.
PC or...
I don't remember. I mean, you have to understand that when I do see these things, I don't search out Square Enix news.
I know, so. but I'm just being on a basis of like to assume that we might get something really buggy released. I'm like they have to have, to me at least, a long-standing precedent for doing that like regularly. I'm saying I don't see that from Square. But
you say that, but from my perspective, the kind of trash that they turn out. Tells me that they could do it at any moment, and I don't mean that jokingly. I mean that seriously.
No, I'm with you.
The ideas and the concepts that they come out with, some of them are great.
Right.
Some of them are some of my favorite things, but that was a long time ago. No, it's just like not only do I not, to be perfectly honest, and I'm not joking, not only do I not find most of what they do appealing or attractive to me as a gamer,
right?
It actually is the opposite.
Right.
Square Enix turns out games and things that I not only do I not care about, I don't like.
I'm with you.
So
fair enough. The grounds that I just had, and just being objective, that I had a difficult time seeing was trying to find that basis from them releasing not just games you don't agree with, or like maybe a story theme you don't like, whatever, but buggy to the point of unplayable and really low quality like that. That's that's the one I'm a little shaky. I'm a little shaky on.
I don't understand how you can be shaky about their poor decision making in development.
That's different. Those are two different arguments. Poor decision making in development can lead to super stretched out time frames and bad release. Yeah, they do that stuff all the time. Poor decisions in development is a different story from glitches. E.g., you release something that's completely unplayable because your game is totally buggy and you just wasted 10 years. That's what we don't have precedent for, in my opinion. But their decisions, though, that is different. Do I agree with their decisions for, the way they did 13 and 13 versus and how that turned into 15 and jumped an entire generation of consoles? Absolutely not. That's a mess. That's a disaster, and I think they regularly have very questionable things. Look, we've been talking about FF7 Remake pretty regularly, and that's something else right now. So no, I don't think they're always sound in those things, but I do think today that there is just A, not only enough pressure, but B, that they will at least, when you finally see whatever it is they've done, that it will at least be a quality release.
I'm not even going to be looking at it. I'm going to look at, we're going to have to define how this is actually, defined for us by looking at reviews or whatever and
Deal.
Agree on that stuff. I'm not going to care. At the end of the day, I'm going to be too busy eating my bunch of okay. While you're at home soaking over your shit Square Enix game. You go ahead and play Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts.
So
derp. That's what I hear. People say Kingdom Hearts. I hear derp.
Well, here's our important news. Just this week, there was a premiere event in Santa Monica over in Cali. This was co-hosted by Square and Pixar. This was a chance for media and visiting public to actually get a hold of a playable demo for KH. This featured the Rock Titan Olympus boss battle as well as the Toy Story world to go around and explore. So, a couple of the biggest confirmations for this one, we've seen a lot of trailers, cutscenes, and all of that. This is one of the biggest confirmations that what we have was not just pre-rendered or it's not just limited to a cutscene. All of this is within in-game in real time for the playability, which is pretty sweet. Looks sharp, looking real solid. The biggest news coming out of this, though, was director Nomura stated that the release date will be announced for this early next month. That's going to be early June. So this is expected either for a press release right before E3 or
Ian,
during
what's happening
E3.
early next month?
Like I was saying, before Bowman here. Oh man.
Bowman.
Yeah.
Maybe, did I jump the gun on
Before
this?
Bowman here barged in the room.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
But no, you're good, dude. No, as you said, yeah. What do you know? E3, of course, is going to be next month anyway. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Coincidence? Yeah, right. My personal thought, I think this is going to get announced at E3. The date, I could be surprised beforehand. Maybe they'll say it early. I don't know, but I think it's going to happen at E3. It just makes sense.
In or around E3. Now, you and I were looking at. I was a little surprised by this because I knew E3 was like a week-long event.
Yeah.
But I guess the actual E3 is like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
If it happens in and around E3, you announced it at E3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stuff's dumb.
Yeah. It's Square do this, and I laugh. You'll get an announcement from them about something 6 years early. Then you might see the game.
Right. I would have to say that anything up until and before June, you can then say pre E3.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
If you're in a different week, but if you're like Sunday and E3, I think starts on Tuesday is the official day or something like that.
Right.
You announced at E3.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, we've got plenty of info out. You got a release date around the corner, playable demos in hand. Every outlet from Kotaku and others start to talk about this. So
failure is imminent.
No, hey, I'm taking my crunch. That's imminent. Can't wait. I'm thinking. I'm feeling about this November, December, probably November, Chris. Keep sending that on over.
I see that. I'll agree with you. November, December.
Yeah.
And you can play your shit copy of Kingdom Hearts 3 until March when they finally patch it.
No precedent. I repeat, no precedent.
Oh, except for the one you pointed to yourself.
FF14 1.0. I'll give you that. But
you know what? Look, I know I'm going old school here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 3 words to you. Final Fantasy VIII.
What about it?
Mic drop. I know there's people who, if I say that, they'll equally be just like you, like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, there will.
Okay. Well, that's why we're going to have to bring in a third party to decide this.
FF8. Oh my. Well, look at the act it had to follow first.
Okay, no, that's true. But that being said, that's not my problems with that game.
I get it. You know what? And I don't even have to be an adamant defender of FF8. Like,
I would think that you would not want to be. Right.
The criticisms of FF8 I get, and in fact I think are legitimate ones. The first defense I usually hear of that is, it's just a love story. We'll leave it alone. Well, back off it. It's not this. It's not that. Yeah. A lot of, as someone who's played through 8 as well, I could say some of the key elements that would have been really, really cool reveals are sort of jammed into the end, which felt really odd. some of the stuff that you wouldn't expect developed was so much time was spent on that early, and then the rest of it is just uh, packed in a kind of odd way. So
So the most important thing on this whole subject, and I just want to make clear because I like the original Bunch Crunch. These are coming out with different flavors now. I just want the original. That's the most important part.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, I haven't even looked at how many flavors there are. What
I
do we
just
have?
the other day I was at the store, I saw there was some kind of new flavor.
I have to try the new flavor just to bring you out of that old school rut and to bring you into the present. Where games are released and they're playable, and especially when you have demos out around this point. You have an imminent launch that's looking really solid, and I think will likely compete for a game of the year. Yeah, could be a thing. So might just something to get you thinking, Chris.
Wow.
I'm trying to help you.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna be quiet because you're all over a news story that I did not have the time to properly research for this week, and I'm going to talk about next week.
Deal.
So you're all over it though. You're asking for me to just grab you by the heel and drag you down into the pit, but I'm not going to do it.
I said contender 4. Contender 4.
No, it's just that you got to stop smoking that hype. Jesus, be careful. There was a certain game last year that had nothing but hype to smoke, and it did not do well.
All right, I'm something smelling my crunch. I'm sorry, man. It just
dude. That's the best part about it, though. Is like the boxes smell awesome. You sit there and smell the box for I don't know how long. I stopped after a couple hours, but yeah, because after a while, not the nostalgia, but the shock of, wow, this box smells great. And then you're just kind of like, I was sticking my nose in a candy box and smelling it. And so you stop.
Bottom line is, it would be doomsday level disaster if Square got this far on a formula they've crafted over this many years with this many Kingdom Hearts games and decide to give you something unplayable. Don't see it. I don't see it. It will, at very least, even if people hate it as a story, it will be a playable game.
You say that.
Yep. I do.
I see your comment, and I raise you Final Fantasy VIII again.
Okay, what was glitchy about FF8?
That's the funny part is that you and I have talked about this many times. See, now, and this is something that's going to be a definition. I don't know if it was glitchy as much as it was just unbelievably just idiotic oversight to not even allow people to use an item.
Yes. See, that's a gameplay issue. That is not something unplayable.
That is a core gameplay mechanic. That does make it in large part unplayable. That is a broken gameplay mechanic.
Oh, stretch. That is a stretch.
That is not stretching any sense.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I see. I put that in the dumb category.
Apparently, in the dumb category, yes, in the dumb category. Belongs in the dumb category, yeah. All right. But the fact that went through 2 years of production.
Yep.
That's my point.
Was it just
That's
2
my
years
point. They have the ability to do that.
They do. But man, 1998 metrics, dude, 20 years ago, bro. Come on.
Boy.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. And then they make dumb games like Kingdom Hearts. Don't even tell me. I see that's the difference. That is honestly the difference. Is that I stand back and I watch them make these mistakes.
Yep.
And then you stand back and you're like, how could you question them? And I'm like, how could you not? Aren't they sticking daggers in your heart right now about Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Oh yeah, deep.
All right then.
I'm way more concerned about that. I mean, at the end of the day, FF7 it's definitely way more dear to me than KH, and that would be, I'd go as far as to say, for as much as I've stood by, 7 Remake, going over the hill, in the worst light possible, would be my tipping point. I even have my limits.
Essentially starting from scratch.
Yeah.
after almost 3 years.
Uh, seven remake going cataclysmic wouldn't. I couldn't survive that. That one I wouldn't suffer. Mm-mm. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, man.
Well, but in the meantime, you'll be able to play as Goofy.
You know what? See, that's a good part. And you forgot Donald, and maybe even King Mickey with the Keyblade. Thank you very much.
That's my favorite.
I think.
Although I would, for a moment, I could enjoy the irony of Mickey Mouse running around with a key as King Mickey,
Yeah.
because that's basically what he is now in media.
See. I love it. So we will see. I'm sure this is going to be part of our E3 coverage as we go into it.
Unfortunately,
And we're going to be seeing a lot of this going on into the next month or two, or maybe even three. So stay tuned. Other than that, the more minor announcement. This is sort of a just pseudo developer shifting here. This was a fellow that's actually been working on Anthem. It turns out that he's actually moving studio. His name is Blair Brown. He most recently he served as a producer at BioWare. Now he left BioWare to join Respawn Entertainment in July, where he's going to be working on. I don't believe we had a full announcement for this yet, title-wise, a new Star Wars game. Looks at Chris.
wait, what?
Yeah, that's all I.
Oh,
that's
wait,
all
that's
I know.
right, BioWare. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
That's right, EA. They've got that license.
There you go. In addition to Inquisition and Andromeda, Brown, now he also worked on Anthem and another game that he, quote unquote, something else that he did not want to name outright.
Anthem is quickly becoming the biggest and best game we'll never get.
It quickly is. I think that's a really good way to frame it. EA has so much riding on them with this, especially coming in the wake of Star Wars and the loot box madness that we saw with that.
I will comment on that next week.
Good deal.
I'll have a lot to talk about next week about that.
Cool. But another reason this is important to look at, I'm looking at Respawn themselves. Now, Respawn was founded by a group of Call of Duty veterans. They created the Titanfall series, and also, now in 2017, EA purchased Respawn for hundreds of millions. The only thing we know about the Star Wars game that's coming up is that it's going to be third person, and it's going to be directed by the God of War 3 director, Stig Asmussen. So if
None of that is like a huge conflict.
it is, isn't it? So
Whatever.
yeah, if there's going to be anything else major, we're going to hear on details of that game, or maybe Star Wars, whatever else coming up.
Did you say
it's gonna
first
be
person or third person?
third person?
Okay.
Third person. But I think this will be something else to look out for at E3 or whatever some of these mystery projects might be, or when you see people moving around like this. So, not sure what to make of this yet. But man, and more to this guy's credit too. He even worked on No, I said that, by the way. I shortened it up in my notes, Inquisition, but just to clarify, that's Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh.
So we will see, but at the very latest, a lot of these games should come to light by 2019, tops, whatever these other projects are. So
Oh yeah. All the news in the world in 2 weeks.
love it. Well, I'm going to take all the news right now. The rest of the news I got for this weekend in Info Minute. So, we've talked about the age problem Japan's running into.
We talked about that?
Before, mentioned it. I think the last time I brought this up really briefly was when we had the show we did the Info Minute on the funeral strippers.
It's my favorite.
Yep. Yeah. We had, one thing Japan is definitely encountering an issue with now is just the aging population. It is a very old population. As we're looking at, the first thing you mentioned in that conversation is like, healthcare services and, quality of life, and, current generation is going to help fill in some of those things and all of that. But all of that sometimes takes the back seat to some really odd news, and that's pimping. Yes, you can still pimp at 70 years old. And it turns out that there was a 70-year-old Japanese woman who was arrested for pimping out a 69-year-old prostitute.
Ew.
Now, this is crazy. So this was pretty recently reported by Tokyo police. This was just April 16th. Yumiko Ono, she was the 70-year-old manager of a kind of call girl service in Japan. It was called the Delivery Health. She she dispatched a 69-year-old woman to have sex with a 69-year-old male client in Tokyo's Taito ward. Now, this woman, Ono, immediately got arrested for violating anti-prostitution laws. She pleaded guilty. Authorities said that she operated the call girl service called Diaijuku, which specialized in mature married women. She had about 13 women in her employ, ranging anywhere from 37 to 72. That's about an average age of 54. But she had a lucrative business. Over the last 12 years, she had profits of at least 200 million yen, which is about
What?
$1.8 million to USD.
People making good money off of the off of women
Yeah.
and in sexual adult entertainment.
Can you believe it?
That's a first.
Oh man, I never would have known. But moreover, as we think of the whole aging crisis and whatnot, that's something that just by all means bounces off some. Most will still find a way to make profit off that, and it's not as much of a. It's always about just media, quote unquote, health services as it's always announced as. So,
As I've gotten older, and I'm an old man. No,
get your cane.
as I've gotten older, I found that I prefer the company of people generally within my age group.
Yeah.
And that is the only damn reason I can think that somebody would want a 69-year-old stripper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love you. You won't normally comment on things like that, but even you're like, yeah. That's
yeah. I mean, I'm
you nasty. Yes.
yeah. But,
I really can't think of any other. I mean, come on.
No,
Come on, you're paying for sex, dude. Jesus, check the expiration date on that shit.
bizarre, just bizarre stuff, man.
I think that's the first time I swore during the show.
I think it was
I just dropped an S-bomb.
new record.
They're not bad bombs, though. An S-bomb's not too bad.
It's Ridge Racer.
Tried getting you to swear during the Deadpool the Deadpool reviews.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
That should happen. If there was ever a time I was going to get you to drop an F-bomb, that was going to be it. Unless we're actually talking about in the future, if it happens, Square Enix cancels Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh Lord!
Don't I'll get some F-bombs.
Don't even.
I'll call you up and record the call. What do you think of this, Ian?
Call me up that day and make sure you're sitting down. That's all I'll say about that. That man, there'd be fire, brimstone, hell to pay.
I'm gonna save one box of Bunch of Crunch just for that day. You can hear me eating it.
Yeah.
On the phone. Wait. Mm. What do you think? Tell me how you feel.
That would be probably on par or beyond your Star Wars.
Easily. Oh no, yeah, definitely
easily.
Or are you talking about Battlefront 2 or are you talking about The Last Jedi?
Oh, both. Put them both together into just a ball of rage.
Well, I don't know if that would be on par with or above the disappointment of The Last Jedi.
That was a pretty epic fail.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
But at the end of the day, like we always say, I just take consolation that I can just take a ship and just drive it warp drive through something. And
I mean, right, that's true. Now here's the difference: if they cancel 7 Remake, you can still go play Final Fantasy 7.
This is true.
I can't play a better version, or I can't watch a better version of The Last Jedi.
No, you got to wallow in that.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's done.
Yeah,
that's done. That's canon.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in it.
We'll see. We'll see
We'll
Solo
see.
next
We'll
week, or I'll see Solo next week.
Yeah, you will. I'm gonna have to miss it. I will be away at Combo Breaker, but I will have plenty to say about that.
Combo breaker.
Combo. I'm not even playing Killer Instinct. Believe it or not. So.
Combo breaker.
That'll be fun, and of course, I'll be talking about that once I get back. But yeah, hey everybody, look, thank you for listening. As Chris was saying, stay tuned for coverage of our upcoming reviews.
Yeah, we're not doing a Jagged Edge next week. I was thinking about maybe having Isaac come in, but no. So when we come back the week after, because we're gonna still be doing our reviews, but holy crap, when we come back,
just wait.
It's gonna be a mess. I'm gonna screw up audio files with video files. It's gonna be a mess. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, but I don't know if I'll sleep much. I'm definitely gonna have. I think E3 week is the week that I get addicted to caffeine again.
That's a good time to do it, man.
Yeah.
And I'm extra hyped because we're gonna have E3 week, and then we're also going to have Evo week soon after, which is my Super Bowl. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Gosh, you do. You just disappear too.
I'm gone, man. I peace out. That's it. Especially,
I bet you'd be watching that. You get a call, and like family member dies. Like, well, when's that funeral? Okay, I'll see you then. And hang up and just continue watching your fighting games.
I can do that. And here's the deal. There will be breaks during early parts of the weekend, or like Saturday. But Sunday night, grand finals. Don't bother me at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. and on. Do not bother me. That is
Ian turns off the phone. He turns off the phone. He unplugs the landline. He shuts all the curtains, turns off all the lights, grabs his laptop, sits in his closet, and watches the finals.
For that hour or two, man. I mean, between SF, Tekken, the rest of everything. Actually, Tekken's earlier in the day. It's usually like SF that's later, for like Marvel and stuff like that. But finals day period
is it Street Fighter right now? Is that the big one? What's the big one right now? No, it's got to be Injustice 2.
Speaking of crowds, as far as just what people play in terms of numbers, I had more of a pulse on this at the end of the SF4 age, but I know SF5 is going pretty strong right now. I can tell you what I think are going to be some of the biggest games played there. SF5, obviously. Here's one that is going to be getting a ton of play. Right out of Namco, I believe. The new Dragon Ball game.
Yeah, I hear that more than shit.
Dude, that's going to get a lot of views, and it's going to be a big tournament. A lot of people are going to be playing in it. In Injustice, of course, on that line. When I look at Justice and K, but
Ninja Turtles are fun.
They are. And I'm sure I'll see people busting out some sick combos with them. So, can't wait. But, in any case, that is going to do it for us. That's a wrap, so stay tuned. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you soon. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything to go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksawmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.